So what my project is a license plate map of the continental United States. I'm excluding Alaska and I'm excluding Hawaii because what each state is going to have is a ratio between what I'm going to draw on here and what's going to be on here. The one on the plate will be bigger than what's on here, which I've calculated for Texas already. I already made these videos once, but for some reason it had no audio on my phone. So I'm doing it all again and making it more clear. So first off, what I'm going to start with is the state of Texas, grand and big. So Texas is what I find to be the hardest state, and I'm going to use as the base state for my design, because the length from the bottom to the top is the widest, or tallest, my bad, and the length from one side to the other side is also the greatest, greater than Florida, and this is greater than California by just a tiny bit. So what the tricky part is about a license plate map is, first off, some people might think that building a license plate map is easy peasy lemon squeezy, because all you have to do is draw it on here and then put it into a jigsaw puzzle, which is kind of true, kind of not true, because it'd be super easy for me to plop this state down on Texas and put a piece of paper on it and just draw it, which would be cool, but then I would get something about this size as my license plate map, and I want to have the full potential of each plate to make it a little grander and have the map be a little bit bigger so I could hang it on a wall or whatever. So the state of Texas is great for those few reasons, that it's the most diverse in length and how tall it is. It's unlike any other state, and it's a great place to start for the map to be geographically, because it can use, first off, you can use like Oklahoma as a building piece, like for right here. Then you can build on this way, and then you got this piece right here, and you could continue on down this map. The reason that those X's are on the map is just because I decided to cross off states that I already have for my personal collection. The states that I have to practice with in this videos are Delaware and Nevada. The reason why I chose these three, or Texas, Nevada, and Delaware, are because I believe they are great examples of how diverse this map is going to have to be. So for Texas, it's a great starting point, because then you get to find your ratio of how big you want states to be between the state on the map and then the state on the plate. And Delaware is a great example, is because you're going to have to use that ratio after you find it to put it as a tiny state like Delaware. And I just chose Delaware because it's nice and flat. And Nevada, I figured it'd be good because it's just a plain simple thing to start with. So first off, what I already did was I found the length, this is just in inches, of what it is on this piece of paper. So it's 3.8 from one side to the other, and it's 3.6 from here to here, which I just drew it over here tiny bit, so that way I didn't have to and after I've done this, I went ahead and I drew it on this plate. So on the back, it's going to be a little weird because it's really hard to draw in reverse. Now the reason why I have it like this, all messed up, is because I'm not going to draw on the front originally. If I drew it on the front, then I would mess up the state when cutting it. And on the back, some people might say that I messed up more between deciding to put it on the back than on the front. But I just put it on the back so then that way when I'm cutting it, the design isn't messed up due to the lines. So I try to draw it on the back in reverse. So what I found out is that it's really hard and that I messed up 3 times. 1, because I originally just traced it on here and I messed up. 2, because it's really hard to flip it just by using your memory. So what I did was I just outlined here on the map and then flipped it over, and it's sort of the same. And what I found out is if I hold it up to a mirror like this, then it actually does look like a state somewhat. So that's what I'm going to do for most of the states. And I forgot one more reason why I'm saying I did it on the back is because I want to have, like, state like California, I'm going to have raised bumps. I don't know if you can see it, raised bumps. so it's like elevated. And it's going to be a problem for state like Maryland, because Maryland has all these little nooks and crevices right around here. And I feel like that'd be hard to do on the front when having to draw your line up and then down and up and then down. So then I chose it on the back. So then you could just go down. And it's a blank thing to have no distractions on, like here, there's different colors.